Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we're actually going to be talking about patience because, quite frankly, patience in this era is at an all-time low, and we have nothing but technology to blame for this. Now, the study that I'm looking at here was commissioned by Bic. That is actually the people that make those cheap pens that you can buy, and they surveyed, and I've got notes here, 2,000 British adults, and I think these are absolutely fascinating. Now, I consider myself a fairly patient person. I don't mind sitting in traffic for a little bit or, if things take a little longer. But I will say that when I'm dealing with my own technology, I'm the first one to have expectations of what I believe its performance should be and what it doesn't live up. It can get frustrating. I think we've all had that though, and I know we've all become impatient at times. But listen to some of these because I think this is absolutely fascinating. And I quote here, respondents reported becoming frustrated after just 16 seconds of waiting for a web page to load and after 25 seconds of waiting for a traffic light to change. 38 respondents had lost their patience while trying to take notes to keep up with a speaker during a class or a work meeting or something like that. People are losing their tempers after 20 seconds of waiting for ink to dry on a greeting card. It only takes 22 seconds for people to start cursing their computers or TVs if a show or a movie doesn't load or start streaming appropriately. And interestingly enough, because it's British, they actually talked about tea, because that's very quintessentially British. People were getting frustrated if the kettle took more than 28 seconds to boil. I would have imagined a kettle would take a lot longer, but I'm really not up on tea boiling or water boiling technology, I guess. Now, interestingly enough, despite all of this, and you will note that a lot of those things where we have these expectations of quick turnaround come with technology, people still have patience in other ways. So, for example, people were fine waiting 2.8 days for an online grocery order to arrive, 3.7 days for basically a piece of mail if they're getting something sent, it's absolutely fascinating. Let's see, respondents said any longer than 14 minutes spent waiting for ordered food would get them seriously, annoyed. That they would lose their patience after waiting 14 minutes for food to be delivered. I can't imagine that in a busy restaurant here in America, because a lot of times it will take longer than that. But that would actually have people get up and leave and start looking for a different place. If there's just so many other things. So they expect to receive a refund within 4 days. They expect important emails to be responded to within 90 minutes. I am notoriously bad at that. For the record, if you email me, you're going to wait a bit. I'm just usually so busy. Or if a phone takes longer than 11 minutes of charging to turn on, that's quote unquote too long. And so it's on and on and on. And it's interesting because I think that as we've had, technology just continue to expand and grow and dominate our lives, we have this expectation. We have the latest phones, we can put a finger on them for biometrics. They're instant on. We're instantly in things. And when that doesn't work, people grow frustrated. We have this ever increasing demand. And I can think about just, 50 to 100 years ago, when this stuff wasn't around, we would have to wait in lines, or, getting from, let's say, one side of a continent to another could take a lot longer than the hours it takes in a modern jet airliner. So there's a lot of different things that I think as technology has increased, our expectations of turnaround have increased. In other words, we feel more we feel that we have more productivity by virtue of this. I know that I can fly, let's say, from Chicago to Los Angeles in 4 hours, when 50 years it probably would have taken me 6 to 8. Now I have an expectation I'm going to get there. I also have an expectation my airplanes are typically going to be on time, when oftentimes they're not. Thank you very much, American Airlines. But I think this really speaks to where we're going. And by virtue of this, if we are losing patience with this, are we losing patience with other things? What about other more important things? Let's say like diplomacy. If we're losing patience there, does that mean we're closer to going to war, or closer to creating adversarial relationships with other nation states, or even just those in our lives? I think it's something that we really need to talk about, because quite frankly, patience is something we all need, and patience seems to be in very short supply. And as technology continues to improve and increase, I feel that it seems like patience may be decreasing, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So how do we combat that? How do we look at that? how do we slow down a little bit, if you will, and acknowledge that, yeah, you know what, maybe my food isn't going to come out in 14 minutes. Maybe it's going to be 25, and that's okay. I can look at my phone during that time. Take it for what it's worth. But that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.